Hello, my divine kings and queens. I'm back to do another video. And today's message, what we're going to be talking about is God is saying, God is showing you just how weak and cowardly your enemies truly are. What they fought so hard to try to hide from you is being revealed to you. See, you had a lot of enemies that were trying to put a lot of stumbling blocks before your path, obstacles, mountains before you to try to see you be delayed, to try to see you fall up in a pit, to try to see you struggle in life. You get what I'm saying? To see you, some of them tried to take you out. But see, let me tell you something, what I had seen, that in this dream I had, it's like we were in biblical times and everyone was on this path. It's like it was a long path that stretched out, right? And everyone was wearing these brown cloths of clothing, and these like gladiator sandals. And we all looked the same, all of us that was on this path. But then I turned around to see that there were certain people who had a mark. It was a real light, bright light here in the middle of their foreheads, and their eyes got bright too, right? And these people, when their eyes lightened up and they had this bright light, they stepped off this path and they was going towards another gatekeeper. This gatekeeper was a big, strong built man, and they, because they got out the path, they was already showing that. They got to this man said go. He was just doing this, and when he'll go, it behind this gatekeeper was another like cave like entrance, and these people go in and the doors are shut behind them. Well, they weren't doors, but it was weird. It was like they'll go through this cave and it'll go back to looking like a regular cave, but it'll open up for them and they'll go through. So I said, what's going on? And I got off the path because I said, well, I want to see what's going on with that. And I went up to the gatekeeper, and the gatekeeper, I guess because he said, you have to be a chosen one. I need to see that you're chosen. And I said, well, how am I supposed to show that? He said, well, you have to tap in and I have to see the mark of God on your forehead. And I didn't know what I was going to do, but I ended up closing my eyes, and then I opened my eyes again, and I guess he seen it. He seen the mark. He said, okay, yeah, go. And I felt like my eyes had lit up too. And so when I went through this cave, we was in a whole nother place, like modern times now. So we went from that to modern times. It was so weird to me. And we had on normal clothes now, but some people were dressed up in suits. Some people was dressed up as doctors. Some people just had normal clothes on. But when we stepped out this building, because we was in a building, in these clothes, everybody went their separate paths. We didn't have no buddies. We didn't team up. Everybody went their separate paths. So, and then the people that were eventually, I ended up calling one of the people. I said, well, what happened to the people who didn't know to get off the path? I mean, he said, well, that's the path to destruction. I said, we were on the path to destruction? He said, yeah, but we tapped in and we got off. I mean, and he asked me, he said, well, who told you to get off? I said, I seen you guys and I got off, and I eventually found out that I was chosen because the gatekeeper told me to tap in, and I showed him my mark. I didn't even know I was. And he said, yeah, that's the path to destruction that we were on. But, we got saved because we tapped into our powers and we got off that path. It was so weird to me. I tell y'all, sometimes I can't even come on here and tell y'all every single dream that I have. But with that one, what I'm going to say is, you were on this path just like everybody else. This path that led to destruction. Now take this how it resonates, right? I tell y'all, we all have our moments that we were low and that we sinned and that we weren't perfect. Even now, we're not perfect beings. So you get what I'm saying? But it was something within us, and I tell y'all, God, you can't put your finger on who God gave the anointing to or who he chooses, right? Because in him choosing you, choosing to redeem you, choosing to put you on this path, you realize that's what saved you from this path of destruction. He gave you a chance to have and start a new life. He gave you a chance to be different. And him giving you this chance there came with ties to this. And one of the ties is you being his messengers, or you doing it some type of way, you're helping people. Because these people, when we got to this place, we looked like normal people. We were doctors. We were business people out in the world. You get what I'm saying? But we were chosen. But when we got here, we didn't have that light didn't show, and we looked like normal people. So at the end of the day, some of your enemies didn't get off this path, and they're still on this path. And this path leads to destruction, death and destruction. And you have to understand something. When your enemies think that they're doing something, you have a lot of people that I tell you all the time, when you stand to do something greater than your counterpart, or than your family members, or than the friend groups that you used to roll with, right? When you stand and do something different and better with your life, people will hate you for that when they feel like you're leaving them behind. But they don't understand. They cannot blame someone because they want to do better with their lives. Because everyone has that choice. All you have to do is take the first step and getting off that path that you're currently on and choosing to embark on a new journey and get on a new path. To some people, that's scary. To some people, they don't want to do that. Some people don't want to be taught. They don't want to learn lessons. They don't want to be told about themselves. They rather stay in that same low vibrational, hateful, envious, jealous energy. And I'm trying to tell you something. Go ahead and tell your enemies one time, man, you on that path to destruction, because nothing that you do is going to harm me or affect me. Because the minute that I chose to tap in and get on a different path and do what God told me to do, I was saved. So it ain't going to be a thing that these people going to be able to do because they on that path. It's like they wanted you to stay on that path. Because you got on a different path, they're looking at you and they're trying to figure out, like I say, you better be careful about who try to come back in your life, because all they're going to try to do is steal, kill, and destroy. People were trying to destroy you because all you wanted was better for yourself. But he's showing you, you got that much hate and envy in you. People will project onto you what they feel. They deep-rooted insecurities. You get what I'm saying? Abandonment issues, neglect, emotional distress. People will project that off on you. It was never nothing wrong with you. Nothing that you did to these people. You just want it to be better. You want it better for yourself. And people tried to make you feel bad for it. They tried to condemn you. They tried to talk about you. It didn't make no sense. It didn't make no sense how people went so hard up against you to talk about a person who is helping people, to talk about a person who changed from their wayward ways. Changed from their wicked ways. I'm trying to tell you, I ain't trying to say nothing on you if you didn't change, but something where we were all on that path. We were all on that path. I mean, we were all doing something wicked, doing something sinful, doing something that was not becoming of who God intended us to be. But the second that we got up off that path and we tapped in, we always had it in us. God was right there carrying us. And he's showing you how weak and cowardly they possess. That energy of cowardice. It's like they won't say it to your face. Yeah. They'll never tell you to your face because they know they're not on your level. Let me say that again because y'all don't get it. They'll never tell you to your face how they don't like you, how they talk about you, how they judge you and laugh at you because of your past sins, because they know that in the energy that you are right now, the purpose that you have right now, the path that you're on right now, they're not on your level, baby. But God is showing you how weak and cowardly they are. Because if you can sit up here and talk that much smack behind somebody's back, be man and woman enough to say it to their face. You sitting up in there, that energy, you all patting your chest like you King Kong because it make you feel good to sit up here and have people all talking about somebody because they ain't talking about you, because they ain't laughing about you. Let me tell you something. Mind a person who sit up here and tell you everybody and somebody business about somebody who you don't even know. Because the same way when you leave from around these people, they'll tell your business. And that's who you was around. It was telling your business to people who didn't even know you. They'll go pull Joe business. You won't even know they hang. I say, I didn't even know you hang with Joe. Oh, yeah. They carry that energy about them. You can't tell them nothing. But they weak. That's a weak energy, bro. That's a coward energy to be in. That's what God trying to tell you. He exposed you, whether he exposed it to you because you heard it through word of mouth, or he exposed it to you in a dream state, or you just seen it for yourself. Eventually you just something hit and you just woke up and you said, yeah, I done picked up on your game. So let me just go ahead and back up and get on a different path and just get to what God has for me. Because this ain't it. Some of these people chose to stay on this same path of destruction and hating on you because you got on the path of abundance, of prosperity, of redemption. And they still on that path of destruction. But they ain't got nobody to blame but themselves. Because all they got to do, like the man said, the gatekeeper said, tap in. And I got to see that you got the mark of God on you. Some people, like I say, they got a ways to go. They got a ways to go. And the reason why I say they got a ways to go is, as chosen beings, we feel that energy, man. It ain't never that we don't know. When people think that we don't know, or they think, oh, he's still being cool with me. Don't even know I don't like them. Don't even know I talk about them. Don't even know I this about them. It ain't that we don't feel. And it's not that we not healed. The deal is, when you chosen, you don't. It's different energy that you carry. You want to help people. You genuinely want to love people, but it's like these people had this wicked soul about them. My God, they hate you because you help them. They ain't even ask you for the help, but that's why I say stop going out your way and helping people. But let me tell you something. They'll hate you because you're in a position to help. They'll hate you because you're in a position to maybe give them something or do something for them. And at the end of the day, it ain't that you trying to hold it over nobody's head. You generally doing it from a pure space. God showed you couldn't help these people. It wasn't nothing or a thing you was going to be able to do, because this is why they still on that path. It ain't that I don't want to save them. They got to get out that energy. They got to get out that energy. And a lot of people have not gotten out of that energy. They have not transitioned and gotten out of that energy. They're still in that low vibrational, dark, wicked energy because they like it there. For some reason, they like being in this energy. In some way, it makes them feel good about themselves. Some people, like I say, you ain't going to be able to save them. And that's why, at the end of the day, God know where the end of that path lead. And through everything that was going on, you had to have that ability to tap. You had to tap in so you could tap out and get on that new path. When you tapped in, it's like everything was illuminated and revealed to you. You realized what you had to do and who you truly were. And you realized that wasn't the path that you needed to be on. These people are intimidated by you. They hate your very being so bad. But God got you away and he delivered you, and he's showing you people will only hate on you because secretly they admire what you're doing. Secretly, they like the fact that you got on that different path. But people will never admit it to you. They got to keep some type of pride. It's that pride and it's that ego. In part because of what they was doing and talking. And the other part of it is because they're not doing it for themselves. I tell you, they'll project off on you, but God's saying, don't you dare get up off your path and let a person who ain't even on your level get you in your head and keep you in your feelings. That's not what we doing. Because he showed you, had to show you, you out here, they out here trying to project off on you who they truly are. They're weak. They're cowards.